الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد رسول رب العالمين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا أرحم الراحمين. Oh Allah, teach us what lent with us. Increase us in knowledge and good morals and in good deeds, Ya Rabbil Alameen. So this is Al-Jazariyya 34 in the new course, the last course, inshallah, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings. After we finished all of Al-Jazariyya, we're doing it over again. We finished the first section, which was the introduction, the second section, which is the Makharij, and we're going to finish the third section, which is Sifat al-Huruf, very soon, inshallah, maybe one more class, or maximum 2 more classes, inshallah. So this is 35, right? You did the slides, yes, sister? You did 1 or 2, right? It was a short one. Okay, but you have to include, I did not see the pictures, you have to include the pictures to show how Hams and Shidda at the same, they're applied to the letters, not at the same time, but all together. So now, 35, and we have Shahir, cameraman. I'm going to see who's going to do the slides. Okay, so take notes well so that I might choose you to do the slides for this class. Last point, we talked about the ta and the kaf and how they have shidda and hams at the same time. We said the mistake is to say at the same time. This is why people, they think it's impossible to have shidda and hams at the same time. We said they're not exactly at the same time. Shidda happens first, then right away the breath is released. So shidda first, then hams second. Now, the fourth sifa is Rakhawah. So before that, can we add to Google Slides, can we add videos? To the Google Slides, we can add videos. Okay, so I'll be sending you those videos, like the hams and shidda, how they're applied consecutively. I'm gonna share them with you so that you add them, inshallah, to the slides. But I did not see pictures, sister, in your slides. You have to add all pictures. Every single picture in your class, you have to add it to the slides. Every single picture. Those pictures, they took a long time to be made by the Shaykh and took a long time for me just to put them here and to find the precise ones or the high quality ones. So never miss any single picture, and also take the picture of the lines. Like here, for example, what line are we explaining? We're explaining this line. You see, line 21. So you just copy this picture. Every single picture in the Word file, you must put it in the slides. In addition to the pictures, then you explain whatever we explain. ماشي. So صفاتها جهر ورخ مستفل منفتح مصمتة وضد قل. Then he starts telling us those صفات. مهموسها فحثه شخص سكت شديدها لفظ أجد قطيم بكت. We talk about mahmus, we talk about shadid. Now, what's the opposite of shadid? The opposite of the shidda letters are what? The Rakhawah letters. Opposite of shadid is what? Rakhawah. Shadid is strong, solid. Rikhu means soft. Okay? Flexible, soft. Okay? So that is Rakhawah. Didn't we mention? You're here, right? Okay. So Rakhawah, which means what? Softness. Rakhawah means what? Softness. So let's remember quickly the lines so that you know why now he's talking about Rakhawah. He said Sifatuha means what? Sifatuha means what? Their attributes. The attributes of what? Of the letters, right? Sifatuha Jahrun wa Rikhwan Mustafil Munfatihun Musmatatun wa Diddaqul. So he mentioned how many? Sifat? 5. Then he told you at the end, وَضِدَّ قُلْ, and say the opposite. Means these are 5 and their opposite is 5, these are 10. We already excluded how many? How many sifat we excluded? Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala sayyidina Rasulullah. How many? Itlaq and ismat, we excluded them, right? We said they're not related to tajweed, you remember? We said they're related to morphology. So how many do we have left? 4. 4 and their opposite 4, 8. These are now, remember in the beginning we said how many sections of sifat or categories? 2. Sifat that have opposites and sifat that don't have opposites. Today, inshallah, we're going to finish the sifat that have opposites. So sifat that have opposites are how many? 5. And the opposite is 5, 10. We excluded 2. How many left? 8. So remember, 8 sifat we have. Those 8 sifat, they have opposites. Means what? If a letter has this sifa, means it doesn't have its opposite. Right? So every letter must have either or, one of those 4 sifat. Based on that, we said the least number or the minimum number of sifat each Arabic letter must have is how many? Huh? How many? 4. Right? We said the least number of sifat each Arabic letter must have is what? 4 sifat. Because we said these are opposite. Means every letter must have one of these. Either of these 4 or their opposites. So every single letter must have at least 4 sifat. These are what? The sifat that have opposites. Then we will come to the sifat that have no opposites. We will see some letters, they have extra sifat. So the minimum is 4. The maximum, let's see, after we finish all sifat, we'll see the maximum a letter might have. It will be 7 or 8. Now, صفاتها جهر ورخم مستفل فتح. جهر, what's the opposite of جهر? جهر, hams. So we said in the first line, he told you the sifat and he told you say their opposite. Now when he explained, what did he say? What did he explain? He explained those same sifat he mentioned, or he explained the opposites? Huh? First line he said jahrun wa rikhmun. Then he just told you the names. Now second line he said mahmusuha. Mahmus is the opposite of what? Of jahr. Tamam? That's smart. So he's telling you first the sifat. Second line he's telling you the opposites of those sifat with their letters. So this way you know that the remaining letters belong to the first sifat that are mentioned in the first line. So jahrun, we already mentioned the hams letters. Jahrun, then what? Sifatuha jahrun wa, look, wa rikhmun. See it? Where is it? Jahrun wa, see it here? Rikhmun. So as for jahr, we understood its opposite. What's its opposite? He said mahmusuha, mahmus, hams. Now, what is the opposite of rikhu or rakhawa? He said shadiduha, right? He said here shadiduha, lafdu ajid qatim bakat, right? Shadiduha, lafdu ajid qatim bakat. That's the shidda. Here, shadiduha, lafdu ajid qatim bakat. Now what's left? What's next after that? Who can guess? Before we move to the next one, we have to explain the Rakhawah. We explained shidda here. Now we have to explain Rakhawah. Then what will he mention? He will mention the sifa that's in between. Then after that, he moves to the opposite of mustafilun. See here? Here he said jahrun. We covered that. Rikhwan. We covered its opposite, which is shidda, and now we're going to cover Rakhawah. Then there's something between them, we're going to mention it. Then mustafilun. Mustafilun. This means we're going to explain the opposite, which is what? Isti'la. He's going to mention the letters of isti'la right after the letters of tawassut or bayniyah. So let's go to Rakhawah. Rakhawah is what? Opposite of shidda. It means what? Softness. What does that mean? Is the sound blocked, cut off, or flowing? Is the sound flowing or cut off in Rakhawah? It's flowing. So Rakhawah is opposite of shidda. Right? So Rakhawah is softness, is the complete flowing. Complete. Why complete? Because now you see that there is a category in between. The sound is not completely cut off, not completely flowing, it's in between. Partially flowing, partially cut off. So Rakhawah is what? The complete flowing of the sound. Why? Due to the openness of the makhraj. The makhraj is open, so the sound is flowing. But if it's closed like up, the makhraj is closed, the sound is cut off. That's it. They're very simple, very easy. Now, in Rakhawah, the makhraj is open, and we have weak reliance on the makhraj. Like weak reliance on the makhraj means there's no like two organs of speech, they're like connected and depending on each other. No, there's weak reliance. Not like at, al, right? Not al, yes. Not like up or ek, see? Or at, okay, at, no. There is weak reliance on the makhraj and openness in the makhraj. What are the letters of Rakhawah, brothers? What are the letters of Rakhawah? All the letters except for what? Ajid Qatim Bakat? That's not precise. All letters are, its letters are all the letters besides Ajid Qatim Bakat. That's not right. Why I mentioned that? Because we have also the Bayniyya letters, right? Right? Right, guys? So we missed that here. So we say its letters are all the letters besides Ajid Qatim Bakat. What else? And besides the Bayniyya letters, which are what? Lain Umar. Right? Okay. I combine these Rikhu letters in the sentence if you like to know it. You don't have to know it, but just sometimes it's easy to just recall those Rakhawah letters. So all the letters besides Ajid Qatim Bakat and besides Lain Umar, they're Rikhu letters. Ajid Qatim Bakat, they're Shadid, means the sound is cut off. Ya, Aj, Ad, up, at, ak, right? They're Shadid, the sound is cut off. Now, Lain Umar is in between, as we will explain in the following sifa. The rest of the letters, they're completely flowing. What are those letters? I combine them. ضيف سيحثه شخص فظ ذو زيغ. It's more difficult than learning those ones maybe. But this is I could not bring more. I know I repeated some letters. I couldn't bring something else. ضيف سيحثه شخص فظ ذو زيغ. It has a meaning. It means a guest who will be urged by a rude person who has hatred. So, anyway, you don't have to memorize this, but sometimes you just want to know what are the Rikhu letters. So if you know this sentence, it will help you. ضيف سيحثه شخص فظ ذو زيغ. Okay? I know some letters are repeated. I couldn't bring something else. Mash. That is Rakhawah. Yalla, let's see the first picture here. So now, again, remember, he expressed the smoke for the sound, for the breath, we remember. Now he's changing the word. Anyway, what letter is this? How did you know? You read it? Okay, the middle part of the tongue going to the roof of the mouth without touching. What letter is that? Only one option for that letter. What is it? Sheen. Right? Is there another option? Makharij. There is another option. What is it? Ya. But in the ya it will not be that close. In the ya also the tongue is not touching, but it will not be like very close like the sheen. The ya will be like here. Got it? So as you can see, هي الجريان, هي الجريان, الجريان. We don't say الجريان, right? Because this lam Lam is Qamariyya because the Jim is a Qamari letter, right? You don't say Al-Jibal, right? Al-Jibal, we say Al-Jarayan التام بصوت الحرف الرخوي عند مروره في المخرج. So Rakhawah is what? The complete flowing of the sound of the letter when it goes in its makhraj. Clear? As you can see, the air is just flowing, not blocked by anything. Right? Okay. Next. Now we have a sifa that is in between. We have some letters, they're not rikhu, the sound is not completely flowing, and not completely blocked. It's partially flowing, partially blocked. What are those letters called? They're called letters of tawassut. So this sifa is called what? Sifa to tawassut, which means moderation. Okay? Or al-bayniyya, the letters in between. See? In between or moderation. In between or moderation. Is the partial flowing of the sound. Why? Due to the incomplete closure of the makhraj. So the makhraj is not completely closed, means part of the sound will flow. So line 22. What does he say? بعد عن الميكروفون، بعد بعض عن الميكروفون. لا تقربوا على الميكروفونات أبدا. What does he say in line 22? وبين رخو والشديد للعمر وسبع علو خص ضغط قرض حصر. So as I told you, after mentioning Jawar and Rikhu, now he's going to mention the sifa in between. Then he continues and he goes back to continue telling us what the opposites of those sifat that he mentioned in the first line are. So this sifa, the first half of line 22, وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ, بَيْنَ means what? بَيْنَ means what? Between. وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ وَالشَّدِيدِ بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ. If you're sincere and hard-working and have the true intention of seeking knowledge, always you have to have your notebook and write these notes that will help you. You will help build more Arabic vocabulary. You will help get more understanding of the religion in all types. So I try to give you a lot of stuff so that it will not just be tajweed that is not like related to other things. So Allah says subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Rahman, what? وَبَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ. بَيْنَهُمَا, between both of them. Between what? The two seas. You see, this sea has like salt water or different water, or a river next to it has pure water or non-salty water. Allah is saying, بَيْنَهُمَا, there is a barrier between them. Where is that barrier? Go ask the scientists. They will tell you there's a barrier. That the water of this river or this sea doesn't get mixed with the other. It's not a concrete barrier. It's a barrier that Allah created, subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's of the signs that Allah put around, so that you know His greatness and His existence. بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ. Right? There's a barrier between them and they don't transgress against each other. Means they don't get mixed. Right? بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ مَرَجَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ يَلْتَقِيَانِ. مَرَجَ الْبَحْرَيْنِ يَلْتَقِيَانِ. The two seas they meet. بَيْنَهُمَا بَرْزَخٌ لَا يَبْغِيَانِ. وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ وَالشَّدِيدِ, between the رِخْو and the shadid, what is there? لِنْ عُمَر. He did not tell you it's tawassut, خلاص call it whatever you want. Because the scholars called it tawassut or bayniyya. What are the letters? He told you right away, the letters of that sifa. What are they? لِنْ عُمَر. وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ وَالشَّدِيدِ لِنْ عُمَر. لِنْ عُمَر means, oh Umar, be lenient. لِنْ means be lenient. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. And see, it's close to English, right? Lenience. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. This ayah about our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and for us after him. It says what? By Allah's mercy, you have been lenient and gentle and merciful and kind with them. فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he was very lenient with them, even though they hurt him, they persecuted him, still he would make dua for them. Right? وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ وَالشَّدِيدِ لِنْ عُمَرٍ. لام نون عين ميم را. let's apply the definition to these letters and see how they're bayniyah, how the sound is really partially closed or partially blocked. Let's start with the ra. If you learn the makharij well, this is like just a review for you. If you understood the makharij and you were paying attention, this should be just like a review for you. The ra, as we mentioned earlier, ya Shaykh, how is the ra produced? We said we touch the end of the gum ridge with what? With the tip of the tongue. Slightly curved inwards. You must say this sentence. So that will make what? That will make a small gap between the tip of the tongue and the gum ridge. Right? That is the complete explanation of the makhraj of the ra. So this is the roof of this is the gum ridge. Let's say ya Shaykh Ibrahim. Let's say this is the gum ridge. Okay. Here is this line here. Okay. And this is the tongue. So the tongue is touching like this and curved slightly inwards. And what is there between? So the whole tip of the tongue, the whole tip is touching the whole end of the gum ridge. Except for in the middle there is a small gap. So this is why the makhraj is completely closed except for that gap. So this is why it's partially closed. So this is why part of the sound of the noon sneaks out from that small gap. That's why it's a bayni letter. Now what's the benefit of, okay, what does that mean? Okay, then in reading, what can we do? Okay, it's a bayni letter. Okay, what does that change in reading? Like, qalqala, we know, we make qalqala, aqqa. But bayniyah, what do we do? Now we will see what we do and what we benefit from this sifa as we finish this. So, al-bayniyatu fi harf al-ra, as you can see the arrows, the sound is coming out of that small gap. This is small gap. See it? So that is the partial flowing of the sound at pronouncing or when pronouncing the ra, because most of the tip of the tongue is touching the gum ridge. Is that clear? Clear. I'm gonna now show you the video. Okay, let's take them one by one since we have the video. So let's start with what? Rakhawah. So this is the Rakhawah, as you can see. See, the makhraj is not closed, right? The sound is flowing. It's not completely touching, it's not touching at all, right, ya Shaykh? So that's Rakhawah, you can see. Now let's move to the bayniyah of the ra. Yeah, that's the bayniyah of the ra. Here you go. He started with the, okay, let's take the ra first, since we explained it. Here you go. Very simple, how the sound is sneaking from that small gap, right? That is the ra. Now, after ra, let's take the ayn. How is the ayn produced? Again, this is a review for makharij, right? As you can see, the epiglottis is going back to the back wall of the throat, right? But not completely touching. This is why, what do you have, ya Ibrahim? Partial flowing of the sound, right? Put it in your pocket. Partial flowing of the sound, right? Why? Because the epiglottis is returning back to the back wall of the throat. It's not closing it, and it's not very far. This is why the ayn is what? Is a bayni letter. So that the ra, the sound is flowing, right? If we say, as some students do, we say ar, that's now rifu. You made the ra rifu. Ar. See, you're not touching at all, right? So we don't say ar because you're making it rifu, and we don't make ar-rah. At some point, I used to do this. Ar-rah, like 10 years or less. Ar-rah. What are you doing? You're blocking the sound. You're not letting that small gap. It's in between. It's not Ar-Ra and it's not Ar-Rahman Yirrah. No. Ar-Rahman Yirrahim. Ar-Rah. Yarju. Yarju. Rahmata. Yarju. Tamam? Okay. The Ayn, same thing. We don't say وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينَ نَسْتَعِينَ نَسْتَعِينَ. What am I doing? I'm opening. So it's completely flowing. نَسْتَعِينَ. And I don't say نَسْتَعِينَ نَسْتَعِينَ. Normal. Half. نَسْتَعِينَ عين عين. Tamam? That is the Ayn. Let's see the video of the Ayn. Here you go. See how the epiglottis is returning back? Come on, that's the Ayn. So, now, next one is what? Noon and Mim. Noon and Mim, as we explained earlier, how many parts contribute to producing Noon and Mim? Focus here with me. How many? We have the oral part and the nasal part. Noon and Mim, any Noon or Mim on the face of earth, on the face of the earth, it has what? Ghunna, right? Any Noon or Mim, even in Ikhfa, even in all of the cases of the Noon and Mim, they have what? Ghunna. Well, this Ghunna varies, right? Depends on the rule, right? We explained this. We're going to explain it again later also. So, to produce the Noon, what do we do? Two things. Touch the gum with the front part of the tongue and with the Ghunna. So, why is the Noon a Baini letter? Who can tell me? When you're touching the gum, what's going on? Is the sound blocked or not? It's blocked. But is it just blocked and khalas, done? No. It's going, finding another exit, which is the nose. And, right? That's why it's Baini. Same thing, exactly the Mim. How do you produce the Mim? From the lips. Same thing. The makhraj is completely closed from the lips, but it goes again, find the exit through the nasal cavity. And right? That's why it's a Baini letter. Clear? Okay. Cannot be clearer, right? Okay, let's see the pictures, then the video. So which part of the Noon and Mim is closed? The oral or the nasal? Huh? Oral. The oral. And the nasal is open, so this is why it's partially open. This is why it's a Baini letter. It's a Tawassut letter. As you can see, here it's blocked at the gum, then it's going sneaking through the nose. Here it's blocked by the lips, then it's going through the nose, right? See the video here? How these two letters also, how the sound is going there. See? These arrows are blocked here, and the other arrows through the nose are flowing. Clear? Zoom well so that it can be clear in the video. Okay, what's left? We explained the Ayn, Mim and Noon, Ra. What's left? Lam. Lain Umar. Lam is left. Who can tell me before I show you the picture, why is the Lam Tawassut letter? Huh? Why is the Lam a Tawassut letter? Who said? Yalla, raise your voice, ya sister. We only have one sister who knows all the answers. Yalla, ya sister. In the Lam, what do we do? What do we touch? وَاللَّامُ أَدْنَاهَا لِمُنْتَهَاهَا. وَاللَّامُ أَدْنَاهَا لِمُنْتَهَاهَا. From the end, from the near to the end of the edge. We're touching al. So the sound is blocked from the front, but it's flowing from the side, from here. Al. From the edges, the far edges of the tongue are not touched. So the sound goes from there. That's why it's blocked from the middle, where you touch, and from the sides it's open. This is why it's partly open, partly closed, as you can see in the picture of the lamp. See? It's touching from here, and the sound is flowing from the right and left. See from where? Almost from the far edge or the middle part of the edge of the tongue, from right and left. You see? That is why the lamp is a bayni letter. See the video? You mentioned the lamp first, right? Here you go. See the lamp? See how the sound is going? Blocked from the middle, then it's going right and left. That's why the lamp is a bayni letter. We did not show you these. I showed you these videos in the first course. Did I? Okay. That is tawassut. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, now we're gonna go over what do you benefit from this. Okay, this is like just a description. You're telling me, okay, the sound is partially closed. Okay, what do I practically when I read? What does that help me? That's only for like the professional reciters. That's really only for those who are really seeking an ijazah and seeking really to be perfect in their recitation and recite really perfectly and correctly, just like the reciters got the Quran from our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's see. The letters in Arabic, they either have a haraka or sukun, right? When they have a shadda is sukun and haraka, right? So basically, the letter will either have a haraka or sukun. Now you will see there are many benefits from this, many benefits you have to focus on. First of all, when the letter has a haraka, any letter, if a letter has a haraka, is it equal or longer or shorter than the other letters? I mean, are all the letters equal when they have harakat or not? What do you think? Yes, they must be equal, because the haraka makes them equal regardless of the sifat of those letters. That's number one. Number one rule. And from this rule, if you understand it, you will be able to solve a lot of your mistakes and your students' mistakes when you listen to your students. This is something, oh my God, like, Ya Latif. Many reciters, even some old men, because they learned it wrong, they keep reading it this way. Like for example, someone reads, الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب ولم يجعل له عوجا. الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده. Everything they stretch. Many people, they read like this. On the other hand, sometimes they shorten the haraka. They shorten the haraka. على عبدي الحمد لله ولم يجعل له عوجا, for example. So all of the Arabic letters, when they have a haraka, they must be all equal in the timing. You don't prolong the letter and you don't shorten it. If you prolong a letter or you prolong the haraka of the letter, what's the result? When I say Alhamdulillah, I just prolonged the dhamma. I made the dhamma longer than the fatha. What's the result?
Adding a letter.
Adding a letter, which is the waw. So prolonging the dhamma will generate a waw. Prolonging the kasra will generate ayah. Prolonging the fatha will generate an alif. And adding a letter sometimes makes the meaning very bad. So you should never, even if the meaning doesn't change, it will always change if you add a letter. So you should never ever change the meaning, right? Add a letter or drop a letter, shorten a haraka or prolong the haraka, right? So let's read the first set of examples of this. So based on the previous classification of the letters, we find that letters have specific times or lengths based on the flowing of the sound. When we're saying the sound is blocked, means the time of this letter is different from the letter whose sound is flowing, right? When the letter has a sound that's flowing, is different from the letter whose sound is partially flowing. So the timings of the letters will be different. But when? Is it when they have harakat? No. When they have harakat, they must be equal, because the harakat make all of them equal. Then when? When the timings of the letters differ. When they have sukoon. When they're still, when they have no harakat. When they're used as consonants, not with vowels, not with harakat, right? So here's a new question. Where are the questions of the test? Huh? Are you writing the questions? Huh? I'm making the questions ready from now so that here you go. So you want to copy? You can copy if you know Arabic. So what's the question? Okay, got it? So when does the effect of the Rakhawah and Shidda and Bayniyya, ya Sheikh, when does it appear on the letters? When? When they have harakat, right? Right? Huh? When they have sukoon. When they have harakat, they must be equal in their timings. Right? See, they're writing and you're staring. This is why they pass, you fail. Right? Okay. And don't forget that this week is the last chance for you to retake your tajweed test if you have not passed. This is your last week. Just tell me the time you want to come. You can come in the timing of someone else who's reciting. Otherwise, if you don't take it this week, then you must take it in your recitation class that is coming. So this week, starting from today, I mentioned this before, it's not new. Starting from today, you have to retake the tajweed test. So you don't have to take it, and this week you don't have to take it in your own class, so that you don't miss the reading class, right? But you can take it when? In someone else's class. So I'm going to tell you the timings. I'm going to tell you the timings in which I have students reciting, so you sit and take the test while they're reciting. This way you don't miss your class. If you cannot come and you cannot make it, it's your problem. Then you have to take the test in your recitation class. If it takes you half an hour, then you read the rest of the time. If it takes you an hour, it takes you an hour. Okay. So we're going to start this week. So you have to tell me, I have this time, or I have this time, or I'm going to tell you the timings after we finish, inshallah. I'm going to tell you the timings of the other students so that you can come during the time of any other student. You just sit and take the test while they're reciting to me. I trust you, but I don't trust you, Shaitan. I could have given you the test to take home, but I don't trust you, Shaitan. Okay. So, first note, all letters are equals in their time when they have harakat. The mistake some people make is what? That they prolong the harakat, generating a letter. This is called what? Tamteet. What is it called? Tamteet. Prolongation. This is where the word mattat comes from. What is mattat, ya Hana? Rubber. These rubber bands, the one rubber band, you call it mattata, because it prolongs. So tamteet, prolongation. Or it's called idkhal, insertion. Insertion or insurgent. English scholars. Insertion or insurgent. Right? Insertion means you insert a letter. When you say, for example, ذلك يوعظ من you inserted an alif. There are some cases you insert an alif in the Quran, by the way, but not in Hafs. For example, in Ibn Hisham narration, you say أَأَنذَرْتَهُمْ and you insert an alif. So there are cases, but not in Hafs. Or أَنذَرْتَهُمْ is the idkhal with tasheel at the same time. Anyway, so what is that called? Prolonging the harakah is called what? Tamtiq, prolongation, or insertion. Now the opposite is what? Some others they shorten the harakah. That is also wrong. This is called ikhtilas or rawn. Ikhtilas literally means stealing, or that's one meaning, or doing something quickly and in a hidden way. So that's ikhtilas. So you don't shorten the harakah. You don't say, for example, kutiba. No, kutiba. So you don't shorten the harakah. Okay? Do we have ikhtilas in Hafs narration? Do you have ikhtilas in Hafs narration? We have in one word in the whole Quran. You can read it with ikhtilas in Hafs narration. What is it? You can read it in two ways, either with ishmam, لا تأمنا ما لك لا تأمنا. That's called ishmam. The other way you can read it is with ikhtilas or rawn, they call it. ما لك لا تأمنا على. Did you hear the dhamma? Did I say ما لك لا تأمننا? Did I say that? No, I did not say تأمننا. No, I said ما لك لا تأمننا على. See, this is ikhtilas. You're shortening the harakah and speeding up a little bit. That is what ikhtilas. We will come to that at the end of Al-Jazariyya, of course. Okay. Any questions so far? Let's read the examples. Kutiba. Is that right? Look at the examples. So when the letters have harakat, they must be equal. You don't say kutiba. What do you say? Kutiba, equal. Arabic, ya shabab, as I told some other students, Arabic is the easiest language ever to read and to write. Ever. No comparison. Arabic is the easiest language to read and write, because every letter represents one sound. And every letter has a vowel. I'm talking when you have vowels or harakat. And then when you learn with harakat later on, you become fluent. Even without harakat, you can read fluently. Right, ya Shaykh? Why Arabic is the easiest language? Tell the kids when you teach them in the Sunday school, the summer program, whatever. Tell them this is very easy. Look at English. Like, there is no rule. This is read, this is knife, this is no, this is silent, this is listen, this is, I don't know, ago, this is this is every, like so many ways to read the letters. There's no like rule for pronunciation, unlike Arabic. Arabic, every letter has one sound. Anywhere in the word, just same sound. With the vowel, same way you read it. Right? Very few rules that help you. Just hamzat wasl and just khalas. You can read any word in Arabic just like the normal reciters if you just learn the letters. Right? Kutiba. So you don't say kutiba or kutiba, no. Kutiba or kutiba alaykum, this is very common. Kutiba especially the young ones when they're starting the reading, this is what they do. And here comes your role. If you were really a skillful, qualified teacher, you will help them right from the beginning. But if you're sleepy, they're kutiba and you're, mashallah. This is why it's very big responsibility to teach those young kids. At the very same time, it's a great blessing. Imagine every letter you teach these kids. every rule. Imagine whenever they read and they apply that rule or that letter that you taught them, you're getting rewards until they die. As long as they're reading, you're getting rewards. So never ever underestimate teaching and volunteering. Never ever underestimate this work that we assign to you sometimes. It's a great blessing. And imagine this person, when he learns, then he's going to teach his kids and his kids their kids, etc. Imagine, you'll find a huge rewards in your record. You just need sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and take responsibility. Because if you teach them wrong, also you're responsible. Right? Also you're responsible. So when you're listening to them, you focus with them. This is why I told you, you all need training. All of you. No exception. All of you. You still need training. Many times I come and listen, a student, he skips a letter, he adds a letter, he stretches a letter, and you must keep going. Right? Okay. It needs experience. It's not easy. It needs experience until your ear is used to, right, sister? Your ear needs to get used to catching the mistake. Like I'm walking, I'm at the computer and you're in the musalla and I can catch it. Why? It's not because I'm smart. I know I'm smart, alhamdulillah. Maybe a little bit less than smart. But it's Allah's blessing. It's experience, it's long time, it's experience, right? It's experience, more than 15 years of listening. So you can figure out, so don't underestimate this experience that we're giving you. Okay. كتب يعظكم. Don't يعظكم يعظكم. No. يعظكم يعظكم. See, equal. يعظكم فمن يعمل. You don't say فمن. No, it's فما. فمن. Then this one, إدغام الغنة, it has its own rules. We learned them. Longest ghunna, long ghunna, short ghunna, etc. And this is why now you will see in the third rule. Anyway, this one is sakin, so it's out of the question here. Here we're talking about which letters, the letters when they have what? When they have what? Harakat. Now we're talking about the letters when they have harakat, they all must be equal. Now when the letters have sukun, now we're going to cover this in the next point. فَمَن. So you don't say فَمَن, مَي, no. فَمَن يَعْمَل. Say فَمَن يَعْمَل. Say the mistake. Say the mistake. فَمَن, مَي. See? You're adding part of the alif. كنتم. Who can tell me the mistake? كنتم. You're adding what? You're adding a dhamma, a wow. Ku is ku. It's ku, not ku. Right, ya Shaykh? Ku. Kuntum. Right? Innal ladhina. Who can tell me the mistake here? Some students, they say no, it's not E, it's E. Innal. And one of the very common mistakes that teachers teach in the schools, almost everywhere in the world, I think. Babu bi tatuti. That's the first common mistake they teach to the kids. Ya akhi, the haraka is not babu bi, that's an alif, and that's a waw, and that's a ya. Teach them this later. First teach them babu bi tatuti. Tha thu thi. Not babu bi. When you teach him babu bi, he will read فَمَن يَعْمَلْ kun, right? Kutiba, right? No. Teach them the haraka is short. When we have a bad letter, yes, you make it long, right? You can make it. I hope some of you make the song. I don't have time for everything. Some of you should make this song, or maybe I can make it. Ba bu bi ta tu ti fa thu thi. Just make it like this. and name it letters with harakat. Now if you search letters with harakat, this is the song will come to you. Ba, bu, bi, and that's wrong. That's not with harakat, that's with what? That's with harakat and mad letters. Right? Okay. Inshallah, we'll make that video if I remember. Now, kuntum, we read that. Inna alladhina, we read that. Nusibat. Is it nusibat? No. Nusibat. Nusibat. See? Very nice language. Every letter has equal time. Not like English. Oh my, what English? What English? Read, read, air, apple, under, above. I don't know. How are you gonna learn all those sounds? You just have to memorize them. But this amazing language is different. It's easy. Allah made it easy. Allah made the Quran easy, and the Quran is in Arabic, so Arabic is easy. Surely we have made the Quran easy to remember, easy to understand, easy to read, easy to learn. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ? Is there one who will understand and learn? نُصِيبَت. Who can tell me the mistake here? Someone was reading to me today after Fajr. Inna alayna lal-huda. Inna alayna. Is it inna alayna? Look ya akhi. There is no alif. Don't prolong the fatha. Right? Inna alayna. Right? Inna alayna lal-huda. So we're talking about that noon that has fatha, which is part of the shadda, right? Same thing here. This is a common mistake. What do students read? Some of them. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. Inna. They miss the alif, right? They miss the alif. That is not an example here because here it's about skipping the alif. Okay. Inna. This one is right because we prolong the fatha. Okay. Any questions so far? Anyone has any also note that he noticed or she noticed during listening to students? No? Okay. Number 2, the sakin letters. Here is the main point. The main benefit or the main application. The main application of the Rakhawah and Shidda and the Bayniyah. The sakin letters, ya shabab. First of all, we're going to exclude from the sakin letters, we're going to exclude what? The noon sakin and mim sakin. Why? Why they're excluded? Because they have their own rules. Idgham, Izhar, Ikhfa, longest gunna, long gunna, short gunna, right? So we're excluding the noon sakin and mim sakin from what we're going to say now. Why? Okay, I'm not going to say why, I'm going to write it here. So why we exclude noon and mim sakina from measuring the timings of the letters. Why? Because they have their own timings through the rules of noon sakina and mim sakina, which are idhar, idgham, iqlab, idhar, idgham, qalb or iqlab and ikhfa, right? And idhar, shafi, idgham, shafi, etc. They have longest gunna, long, short, etc. Number 1. Number 2, what do we exclude else? We exclude the mad letters and the lean letters. Again, why? Because they have their own rules as well. Ya, oh, this alif is sakina, always sakina. Why are you making it too long? Ya ayyuha, because it has its own rule. Why are you saying min khaw? Why are you stretching this waw sakina so much? Because it has its own rule. Why you say si at? You're prolonging the ya too much. It has its own rule, even though it's sakina. So, from when the letters have sukoon, what do we exclude from this rule that we're going to mention? We exclude the noon sakina and mim sakina and the mad letters and the lean letters. Is that clear? Clear? Sakin letters, except for the mad and lean letters, because these letters have their own timings that are rikhu, have more time, longer than the bayniya letters. Okay, we can rephrase it, make it simpler. We can say sakin letters, okay, sakin letters, and let's put the exception here. Let's say, make it simple, then we're going to make the exception as a separate one. Sakin letters that are rikhu, who can tell me they have more time than the bayni or less time? Rikhu means what? The sound is what? Completely flowing. Bayni means what? Partially. Which is longer? Rikhu or bayni? Rikhu, that's the rule. This means when you read those letters, when they have sukoon, the rikhu letter should be a little bit longer than the bayni letter. Right? This is why we said this is professional. This is really for those who want perfect reading. Okay, someone was reading today also, one of the teachers. Also, she was giving the fa. What's the ayah? Yafta'u, like skimming the fa, not giving the fa its time. Yafta'u, no, you see yafta'u, for example. Yafta'u, tafta'u, not تفتأ تذكر تفتأ تذكر, no, تفتأ تفتأ, should give it its time. Okay? So, how many categories we have for the letters regarding the sound? This is a question I might ask you. How many categories of the letters do we have based on the flowing of the sound? Yalla, answer me. How many? Based on the flowing of the sound, how many categories do we have? 3. Shadida, where the sound is cut off. Rikhwa, where the sound is flowing completely. Bayniya, where the sound is partly flowing. Got it? In that regard, we have Shadid and Rikhu and Bayni. How do we compare these 3 categories of letters? Who can tell me? We agreed Rikhu is longer than the Bayni. What about Shadid letters? What about the Shadid letters? Ajid, Qatil, Bakat. What about their sound? It's cut off, right? Yad, 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 Yak, Yad, Yad. Who can tell me? How do you compare these Shadid letters with the Rikhu letters and Bayni letters? Who can tell me? Huh? Can we compare? Can we compare? When I say ya, ti, look at the hamza. Ya, ti, can I compare it to, for example, yastaghfir, to the sin and the ghain and the ra when they have sukoon in this word, ya brother? Can we? Yastaghfir. Can I compare the hamza? Who can compare the hamza? Who can tell us? What do you think? See the sound of the hamza, the timing of the hamza when you say ya, huh? Ya, ti, and yastaghfir. The sin and the ghain and the fa and the ra, not the fa. For example, ya'ti and yastaghfir. So Hamza, the Hamza has sukoon, right? Sin, ghain, ra. And the ya. But the ya here is the mad letter, we exclude it. But still it has the same time if it's a normal mad, if it's a natural mad. Why I did not mention the ya and the ta and the fa? Why I'm not circling them? Because they don't have sukoon. When we're talking about which is longer than which, we're talking about these letters when they have sukoon, because we already agreed when they have harakat, they are all They are all equal. They're all the same, right? So here we're talking when they have sukoon. Now who can tell me, is the hamza comparable to the sin and the ghain and the ra? And the ghain and the ra and the sin, they're comparable to each other. Which is longer, which is shorter? Ya'ti, yes, yastaghfir, yastaghfir. It's clear that the sin and the ghain are longer than the ra, huh? I'm not saying yastaghfir, no, I'm saying yastaghfir, yastaghfir. You see clearly that sin and ghain are equal, number one. Yastal, are they equal? Equal. Good, because they're both rikhu. What about the ra? It's baini, it should be shorter. Yastaghfir. I do not say yastaghfir. Did you see? Now I made the ra equal to them, but it shouldn't. Yastaghfir. Got it? What about the hamza? The hamza is what? Rikhu or shadid or baini? Shadid. It's not rikhu, it's not baini, it's shadid. Shadiduha lafdu ajib, qatim bakat. And let's say, if I say yaqo, yaqrab, taqrab, taqrabu, let's say taqrabu. Qaf has sukun. I'm going to say taqo, taqo, taqo. I'm giving you both examples of the shadid letters. Who can tell me? Can we compare the shadid letters to the rikhu and baini letters? Here's the question. Can we compare them? Which is shorter, which is longer?
Shadid is shorter. Shadid letters are shorter.
Shadid letters are shorter. When I say yaqo, aqo, how can I compare this sound which is flowing a little bit, then stopped or interrupted, then flowing again? Yaqo, aqo. How can I compare this with a flowing sound like ar or al? How can I compare it? Sheikh Ayman said, as you said, the shadid letters are shorter than the rikhu letters, the baini letters, and the baini letters are shorter than the rikhu letters. But my humble opinion is, the shadid letters, they're incomparable to the rikhu and the baini letters. They're incomparable because their nature is different. The shadid letters, ya akhi, like the hamza, you're cutting it completely, the sound is not even coming. You cannot even compare it like ya. Okay, with the hamza, let's say you can compare. What about the qaf? How can you compare the time of the qaf when you say yaqo, alqo? How can you compare it to the as? They're different. Do you understand? You cannot compare yaqo, alqo with yes. You can compare al, as, al, but you cannot compare alqo with the rikhu and baini letters. Does that make sense? So the shadid letters, they have their own qalqala or hams, and the hamza is understood. So let's summarize this. The shadid letters, you don't have to worry about them. Why? Because the hamza is just cut off. Ya, ti, you don't need to compare it with anything. It just, you cut it completely. As for the qalqala letters, qutb jad, you make qalqala for them, you just bounce them. Aqo, aqo, ajr, adr, adr. And kaf and ta, you just make hands. Ak, at. We're done with the shadid letters. We know their timings exactly. Now what's left? Rikhu and baini letters. In my humble opinion, this is what we need to focus on. Shadid are incomparable. Shadid letters are incomparable to these letters. Okay, inshallah, if I meet Sheikh Ayman, if I get a chance, I'll explain this to him and see his opinion. For now, what do we have left? Baini and rikhu. Which is longer? Rikhu is longer. That's it. That's the whole point. Any question? So let's read now. Sakin letters that are rikhu have more time, longer than the baini letters, the bainiya letters. Before we read the examples, let's take the exception. The mad and lean letters, along with what? along with what? The mim sakina, the nun sakina and mim sakina. Right? What about them? The mad and mim letters along with the mim sakina and nun sakina are excluded from this rule because of what? Because these letters have their own timings and their own rules. Does that make sense? Because in Idhar we keep the normal short gunna or the nun or the mim, etc. Okay. Except in Idhar and Idhar Shafawi, because in Idhar and Idhar Shafawi we keep, okay, we can keep this also. Note. In Idhar and Idhar Shafawi, they're not excluded. Why? In Idhar and Idhar Shafawi, we apply this rule. Why? Because we keep the normal short ghunna of the noon or the mim. Is that clear? Is that clear? Any question? Any question on this? Got it? Why we don't compare the shadid with the rikhu and bayni? Shadid letters, why don't we compare them with the bayni and rikhu? Because they're different, right? They're different. They have qalqala, and some of them they have hamza, and the hamza is... Even the hamza, look, even the shadid letters themselves, are they equal? They're themselves not equal. They're themselves incomparable. The hamza is cut off, yeah, but the qaf, yaqo, see, they're both, themselves they're different. The shadid letters themselves are different, right? So I think the shadid letters are incomparable to the other letters in regard with their timings, and they are themselves they are themselves not equal to each other, to one another. Do you understand that? Hamza is not equal to the qaf, is it? Yeah. And yaqo different. Clear? Okay, let's read these examples and we're done. Then next time, inshallah, we're gonna finish this with reading Surah Al-Nashrah, with focusing on those timings of the letters. Okay, yalla, let's read these words with the helping point, then we just apply what we learned next time in the beginning of next class, inshallah, and we're not gonna have time for Aqidah today. Okay. Yusta'tabun, yalla, apply. Yusta'tabun, see the sin, see the ayn? The sin is longer. Yusta'tabun, apply, yalla. An'amta, see the noon and mim, how they're equal? An'amta. You don't say an'amta or an'amta, right? Equal, both rikhu, both what? Both bayni. An'amta. Istikbara. Min haythu la yahtasib. Lam yahidn. Lam yahidn. Which is longer, the dad or the noon? Huh? How the same you do? The dad is rikhu, the noon is bayni. So the dad should be longer. Lam yahidn. See? Yahidn. Right? Tarabbastum. Tarabbastum. Which is longer, the sad or the mim? The sad. Tarabbastum. Tarabbastum. See? Mustanfirah. Mustanfirah. أنعمت أو مش أنعمت أنبئوني فسينغضون. I'm giving you examples of how the nun sakin and tanween, they have their own rules. فسينغضون see the nun فسينغضون, there's nun. يستنبئونك, there's nun, but they have different timings because one of them is hard, one of them is qalb. فسينغضون. While the other one is what? See? يستنبئونك. Did you notice? Did you notice that? Finally, this helping tip helps you to apply these rules. Read in the slowest speed of recitation, which is called what? تحقيق. In order to be able to apply these very professional rules. And once you are trained on that and you master that, then you can apply these rules to all of the speeds of recitation, whether tahqiq, which is the slowest, or tadweeb, which is the medium, or hadr, which is the fast. And notice that the timings of these letters should suit the speed of the recitation. The timings of these letters should suit the speed of the recitation. You cannot read, you read it tahqiq, alam nashrah, and you make them shorter. So you don't say alam nashrah lak, right? They have to, the timings of the letters, they have to suit and comply with the speed of the recitation. We will read Surah Alam Nashrah inshallah as an application for this rule in the beginning of next class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين.